Picture me putting my city all over the map. They wasn't believers, I had to get even and mad. We coming up, pulling up, jumping all over your grass. So tell them I got a new girl. Tell them that I'm begging on one of my 50s in cash. I'm tired of living check to check. I need 20 models, this is smiling in my grave, fresh to death. I've been Wu-Tang with a spectral deck. Yeah, I gotta just get off my chest.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. The Chiefs hope by the end of today's game they'll have secured win number 1 on the season. It's the Steelers going up against the Chiefs. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. The scene just a few moments ago, predictably loud and raucous here at Arrowhead as their beloved Chiefs took field, and they are set to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in pretty desperate here for a win as they've started the year 0-5.
And it seems way too early to start talking about hot seats. But guess what? When a team is 0-5, people start wondering about their jobs.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak.
On fourth down is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
There's a lot of good in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going deep for Brown. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30.
Well, this win is definitely going to factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit.
Hunt. And some space here. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Oh, this is blocked. And thankfully, the offense able to recover, but the extra point attempt foiled. Set now to kick this one away and off. This one taken just inside the 10. Interception. Are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick, and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now it's Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Allen Bailey. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
They'll run again with Hunt. And some room to roam now. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game. And
why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
On 2nd and 10, Smith. And Hill, yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. Now it's Smith off the bootleg. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Now Brown. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 18 carries, 94 yards.
How about we shine a little spotlight on the offensive line? Those big guys up front are creating nice space, nice gaps for them to run through. I think he's going to go for over 100 yards in this game.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tambahali leading the surge there. He drops in for a loss of 6. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steelers. Here's Jordan Berry now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. He's in his own second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little. When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now Hunt. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. They're able to locate Wilson. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Smith on 1st down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. That one goes for 24 yards. From the red zone now, Smith. Conley's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it, we can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Smith going to give this one to Hunt. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 5 on the run, but it leaves them with a tough 3rd and goal forthcoming.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
3rd and long, it's Smith. He hits West underneath. And he takes Charkandrick West, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Coming up at halftime, remember, we'll get you out to Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of this first half. That is, of course, unless you decide to skip him.
And for the record, we do not encourage that.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Forced out to his left. His throw incomplete. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety here, Ron Parker. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the defense definitely showing blitz here. On first down, it's Smith. Caught, it's Wilson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. On first down, Smith. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
They go play action to Hunt. Now Smith. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden, with it.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Reminder that coming up later tonight in the national window, we'll see the Giants travel out to Denver to take on the Bucs. And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off safety Eric Berry. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. He's at it again. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelce, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Oh, he slipped right by him. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with it. And no update from Larry this week, apparently. We'll try again in week 7. But for now, let's get back to the action, ready to kick off the second half. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Derek Johnson coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Watch 17, watch 17. Here we go. Like 20. Alert. Check 15, check 15. 4 down. Back.
Play clock winding down. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Justin Houston in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we couldn't count in yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
Taken in at the 22. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Eli Rogers that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now Bell, and he'll get this one up to about his 14. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Here's Roethlisberger. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, past the sticks, first down. Fielded at the 20. Good move at the 30. Dancing away at the 35. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
Here we go on 1st and 15. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And an alley to run. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there, because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back. And now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at going forward, watching it on tape. Maybe they can...
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Now Ben on 3rd and long. And he fires one, but incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Justin Houston in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his throw here's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
Yes, you're right, they have had no room to breathe. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Steps away. He's good. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 46. Time to spotlight the quarterback, Alex Smith. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They run again with Hunt. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
3rd down. That's West. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the pickup, but they're still a few inches short now. Late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.